ties, rests, and insert some improvisation in those spots. Still keep the melody intact, but places where there weren't notes being played in the original melody, insert some improvisation there. In this next example, in number 277 from the book, you can hear the improvisation in those holes in the melody, and so they can be easily seen. They've been circled in the book. Next, I'm going to not only insert some improvisation in those gaps in the melody, but everywhere else that I can see some dead time. Even if it's a quarter note, I might try playing an improvised note in between the quarter notes. So in between the melody, even more so, I'm going to try to weave some improvisation. I'm going to be using the scale of the key that we're in, and I might throw in a little bit of the blues scale. You can use any tool that you have handy, modes, arpeggios, scales, whatever, and improvise around the melody. Still try to keep the melody intact. Finally, I'm going to omit entire phrases of the original melody and insert some improvisation. So I'll be improvising in between the melody, improvising in the gaps or holes in the melody, and also eliminating some phrases. Now, in example number 279 from the book, you'll be able to see those phrases which have been omitted in the circled areas. The principle behind chordal harmony is that these chords are built with stacks of intervals of force. Most of our chords so far that we've played have been built on thirds. And with chordal harmony, the chords are built by playing notes that are a fourth away from one another. So for example, C to F is a fourth, F to B flat is a fourth, B flat to E flat is a fourth, and this creates a minor 7 suspended chord played like this. Has the root on the 5th string. Another way to play the minor 7 suspended chord would be like this. Fingers 1 and 3. This has the root on the 4th string. The other chord that is played by using chordal harmony, or notes that are built in a series of fourths, is the major 6-9 chord, played this way. Now with this chord, however, the root of the chord isn't on the 5th string, it's on the 1st string. The third of the chord is actually in the bottom. So the chord I'm playing right now with the root in the 3rd fret is a G6-9 chord. One thing that chordal harmony can be used for is playing a chordal type of improvisation using minor 7 suspended chords. Now the way this works is you play the chord, or the blues scale rather, on either strings 1 or 2. Like for example, the C blues scale would be C, E flat, F, G flat, G, B flat, and then C again. Now if you make that the top note, you make those notes in the blues scale the top note of the minor 7 suspended chord, any of those chords could be used to improvise a chordal solo for the blues in the key of C. As long as the top note is a note which is in the blues scale of the key you're in, any of those chords can be used. In this next example, I'm going to be playing a blues in the key of C using minor 7 suspended chords which have as the top note in the chord a note which is in the C blues scale. This same technique of playing a chord type solo can be used with chordal harmony using the major 6/9 chord. Again, when I play the major 6/9 chord, the top note of the chord should be a note which is in the blues scale of the key that I'm in. So I'm going to play now a blues in the key of G, and I'm going to use the major 6/9 chords, and the top note of each chord that I play will be a note which is in the G blues scale. A very contemporary sound that you could use in your improvisation would be to use fourths in your soloing. Now, the interval of fourth can be created by outlining minor 7 suspended chords, or by outlining the major 6/9 chords that we've been talking about, or by looking for notes in the blues scale or the modes, which are a fourth apart, and then playing those notes. This next solo contains the interval of some fourths, and so they can easily be seen. The spots where those fourths occur have been circled in the book. A geometric shape is a pattern, a fingering pattern, which is created and then moved around the guitar neck, across the strings or up and down the frets. Geometric shapes generally, when you create one of those forms, you should not skip a fret and try to keep on adjacent strings. For example, here's one geometric pattern. It could be moved down the frets. It could be moved across the strings. But you see, I take the same pattern and just move it across the strings or up and down the neck. When I use this in improvisation, I'm not concerned with the theoretical concepts of harmony or chord tones or any of that. The concept is that the togetherness of the shape outweighs the dissonance, and they just sound cool. So here is a solo which uses a geometric shape. This is a blues in the key of C, and the geometric shapes have been circled in the book so that they can be easily seen. This is exercise number 300, a blues in the key of C. That concludes the Mel Bay's Complete Jazz Method video, and I hope that you go through each section, master that section before moving on to the next. If you want some other books on how to play jazz guitar, you can call Mel Bay. Their toll-free number is 1-800-8-MEL-BAY. You can get some other books on jazz guitar playing. And I might point out that if you get the Complete Jazz Guitar Method book, there's a lot more information in the book than we've had time to do on the video. But I hope that you practice with the video and do each section with the video by itself, or even better yet, the video in connection with the book. Thanks for being with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you.